fueling this carnage lies the deep political animosity that has led to this war. In a bitter conflict that has pitted brother against brother, the South is determined to defend its independence and its system of slavery. But the North will not allow it to leave the Union of States.
We fought and lost hundreds of thousands of men on both sides, fighting for what they believed was right.
The unholy alliance of new weapons and outdated battle tactics means a body count on an industrial scale. The war is locked in a bloody stalemate. Neither side can land a decisive blow. In this bitter war of attrition, victory will come to the last man standing. August 1862, over a year into the war. General Robert E. Lee's Confederate Army is readying to launch a wide-ranging assault against Union forces in Virginia. Highly motivated, these men are fighting on their home turf and are ready to die for Southern independence, its traditions, and its rural way of life. Its prosperity is built around a simple crop: cotton. Known as white gold, the South accounts for 2/3 of the world's supply of cotton. It brings extraordinary wealth to the southern states. But it is wealth built on the backs of slaves. Now Lincoln's victory at the ballot box threatens this traditional way of life and the slavery it is built on. Rather than submit to Northern rule, the South decides to fight. They want a separate nation. General Robert E. Lee takes command at the head of the newly formed Army of Northern Virginia. Lee, a brilliant graduate of the elite West Point Academy, is already a veteran of the Mexican War. And highly regarded for his effectiveness on the battlefield.
Lee could intuit the battlefield in a way that almost resembles Rommel in World War II, or Patton. And as a result, he could sort of almost sense where the place would be to take the gamble and where to hit.
Manassas, Virginia, 1862. Confederate troops gather ahead of the Second Battle of Bull Run. Lee's forces are heavily outnumbered. But this Virginia woodland is home territory these volunteer troops know like the back of their hand. Rigid training and strict discipline have turned them into a formidable fighting force.
If you'd been a betting man back then, you would have bet the South would have won. The South only had to hold its territory. The North had to come and take it away. The North had to be the occupying force, which is far harder to do.
At Bull Run, Lee easily demonstrates his force's superiority. In one engagement lasting just 10 minutes, the Yankee 5th New York Regiment loses more men than any other regiment during the entire Civil War. All told, Lee's men kill over 1,700 Union soldiers. Determination and local knowledge give the South their greatest victory in the war to date. But Lee and his commanders have underestimated the nature of this conflict and of their opponent, President Abraham Lincoln. Because Lincoln is fighting a totally new kind of war.